So I want to look at that flow today that comes from the throne of grace. The first level of which is going to influence us is the level of covenant, and then culture, and then customs. I heard this story from Chris Valentin, and he said 3 men were at a wall they were building, and they were putting bricks on top of each other, and they're building this wall. And so a news reporter came into town, and he went to these 3 men, and he asked the first guy, he said, "Excuse me, sir, what are you doing?" And the man looked at him, was a little bit grumpy. He had sore hands, maybe a little blood coming out because he's handling these rough bricks. And he turned to the reporter and said, "Sir, I am putting bricks on top of each other. Can't you see? I'm just putting a brick, a little bit of cement, and then another brick." And the reporter looked at him and thought, "Okay, well, I can see the outward action that you're doing, but I still don't really know what your purpose is." And so he went to the second man. And he said to the second man, "Sir, what are you doing?" He said, "I'm building a wall. I'm not just putting bricks on top of each other. I'm actually building something. This is a great, majestic wall." And the reporter looked at him and thought, "Yes, I can see you're building a wall. That's wonderful. It's wonderful to have great customs, and it's good to have good culture. But what actually are you doing?" And he went to the third man, and he said to the third man, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm not just putting bricks on top of each other. I'm not just building a wall. I'm building a cathedral." And the reporter was satisfied with what the purpose of those actions and customs and what their culture was. He could now see that there was a purpose in those outward things. And that's what it's like when you try and address people or even yourself at a customs level or a cultural level. You'll get grumpy answers. You'll get answers that look at the form of it, but don't understand the purpose. They don't understand why you're doing certain things and how you're doing certain things. One of the greatest recoveries in the last 60 years in church culture is identity. When you understand who you are, you come into a whole new level of fruitfulness. The flow comes through you, and you're able to produce because of the life of God, not because of your own self-effort. But you know that identity is not something in and of itself. It comes from covenant. When you see covenant more clearly and what Jesus has done for you and the price that he paid and all the actions associated with that, you then understand the value and the price, and you understand more of your new creation nature. You don't get to understand who you are without Christ, for we are new creations in Christ.